Welcome back, Josh. How's the Series A roadshow? I feel like you were gone forever.
It was great. And we raised the money, but I think we should become an agency.
Oh, okay. Really? Like, I guess I could see us adding a services layer.
Wait. What if you could talk to your ads?
Ooh, like an MCP or a chatbot?
Actually, we should just make shoes.
Hey, Josh, remember that time when you went and raised a Series A and came back an absolute monster?
The Bay Area will change you, baby. Just chew you up and spit you out. Totally different person.
Oh my gosh. You came back with a lot of ideas.
A lot of ideas.
A lot of opinions.
A lot of bad ideas. Yeah, it was. We'll go through the whole sort of Raise story, but I think like this, right? Episode 1 of season 3 is going to be all about like we grew up over the last, year or 6 months, and raising money was part of that. But sort of all of the changes that came in the company, getting a board member, having lots of employees, like we really. Season 3 Jess is not season 1 or 2 Jess anymore.
No, and same with you. Like season 1 and 2 Josh, like season 3 Josh is like a different man, but like in a good way, right? Like we're growing up. This is our coming of age story.
Would you say I'm more of an asshole now than I was?
You're the same kind of asshole. But a lovable one.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah. I think this whole season, like every episode, we're going to talk about something that we now have the ability to do that, we feel very confident in moving forward because we did the Series A, which is really exciting.
Yeah. And I think our stories are going to get more relatable this season. I know the first 2 seasons, people would stop us and be like, Jess, you're so lucky. Your CEO just gets marketing and you're just like going on vibes. And I think now we actually have like, people in the room that expect what our audience and our customers expect as well, which is pipeline and results. And so now you're starting to get a new version of me, which has this like pressure around marketing. But I think we're still balancing it pretty well. I
think so too. And a new version of me that like has to get good at math and like kind of has to figure out if things are working or not.
She's not good at it.
It's rough. I'm really good at English and words.
I've seen her search history. It's like, what is pipeline? So we raised money.
Yes, we raised money. Let's talk about it. Let's go back to the beginning of like, what happened when you realized, okay, we actually probably need to raise.
Yeah, there was a couple things. So I think the first thing that was important for us is like we're not a classic Bay Area company. Like we didn't want to raise just for like the headline. We actually didn't think it was a positive thing, right?
Yeah.
I think there's this like misinterpretation because there's all these like LinkedIn posts of like we raised millions of dollars at billions of dollars of valuation, and that feels like the winning moment. And for us, that's not it, right? Like the money is fuel to keep building the thing that ultimately matters. But so for us, like we didn't end 2025 like really wanting to raise, but there was a couple of things that we saw. We're like, okay, this could be a good idea.
Yeah.
One was our team was growing a ton.
Yep.
I think you have like 5 people on your team.
We have a 5-person marketing team now.
Wild.
Yeah.
So like the team was growing. Like you're just one of many departments also were growing as well. So like we just knew that more money equaled more security for employees, which is important. We really started to like kind of find our sea legs towards the end of the year and like product direction. And, we still had a lot to work on, but we could kind of start to see like, man, there's a market here. There's an opportunity to build something really big. And like that costs money. Yeah. And so, the writing was just on the wall. And then finally, like most startups aren't profitable. And so, you look at how much money you have in the bank, you're like, oh, it's probably time to raise. So we knew it was time.
It was time. Yeah. To raise a Series A,
you
can't just go out and be like, hey, we need to raise a Series A. Like you have to get the business to a point where you feel very confident going out to raise that Series A.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the things we had to do to be in the position to go out and do that.
So it's funny. Raising money it's an awakening experience. You learn a ton about the world and you realize really quickly, like venture capital just operates at a very different frequency than the operators in a business.
Oh yeah.
Right. For them, they're like, we don't really care what you're building. We just want to know if like you're a better vehicle to return the money plus 100x more than what we gave you. And when you start to think about it that way, you realize you're not competing against other marketing tools or other security tools. You're competing against every other company that's trying to raise money from the Valley. And so because of that, there's like all these things that you just have to make sure look real good to basically convince these investors that like you're the best vehicle for them to invest in.
Yep.
So it was like churn and optics and customer stories and pipeline. And I don't know if you want me to be listing them all like this or if we were supposed to tell like the stories one by one.
That was a great intro, Josh. Let's break those down.
Awesome. Yeah, like, okay, so yeah, there were all these things that like we needed to like make look really good on paper. Yeah. What was like the first one that I came to you saying like, okay, this is what we need to do for me to raise?
For marketing, it was like, we need great customer stories. Yeah. We had gotten a couple under our belt, right? But if, you go back to season 2, we had just gone through a pivot.
Yeah.
And we had basically 3 months had gone by at that point, right? So it's like to find customer stories that were like, they're seeing great things happening after 3 months, was like, ooh, that's a good challenge. Okay, let's go out and find the folks who are doing the most with the product after just 3 months of really having the new version of Vector kind of at their disposal. And Alex Verdon, bless her, was like, I've got this, and went out and started like interviewing customers and understanding like the wins they were having and the returns they were seeing. She built a ton of playbooks, a bunch of case studies. And so that was really helpful. One, like just to arm our sales team with all of that information. I think that would have been content we would have needed anyway. We probably just did it like a touch faster. Because we needed to feel very strong and ready for the Series A. But it was also really helpful content for the sales team to be like, no, look at what this customer has done. Look at what this customer has done. So I think we went out and really figured out like, what are the people who are using our product in the way that we hope they will, which is like building ad audiences and revealing who's on their site and being able to like action on that information. And what kind of returns were they seeing? So that was, I think, the first thing you tasked us with.
Yeah, I had to have all these like pocket stories, right? Because the first thing they would ask is sort of like, tell me your biggest customer and how they're using it and sort of what value they're getting. And so marketing really supplied me with all of that. But then there was this other side, which was like, okay, cool, put all the soft fuzzies away. Like, give me your numbers.
Yep.
And I felt like that was like kind of new for us.
Totally.
At least in marketing.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that like works for us is like we do stuff like this, which is like kind of like hard to measure, build our community. And all of a sudden it was like, well, prove it.
Yeah. Man up. What's going on?
Man up.
Yeah.
Where's the pipeline, baby?
Right. Yeah. So it was very much like we had to do what I like to call, scientific term, deep ass financial dive.
Deep ass financial. TM, trademark. Deep ass financial dive.
You'll find that in the textbook someday, guys.
Just a picture of Jess, Professor Jess, deep ass financial dive.
Because you and Nick had done that. You understood the health of the business. But in terms of like real like marketing dollars in and ROI out, we operated on vibes for a lot of 2025, which worked for us. Yeah. We were 100% inbound. We didn't do any outbound. We did very little paid. I think for the entire year of 2025, we spent maybe 40 grand on paid.
Yeah.
And so all of that was just organic and just really good content. SEO, GEO, like all of those types of, and it worked. Yeah. And then we get to the end of the year and it's like, this isn't probably going to scale.
Yeah.
One, we're like at our kind of bandwidth for creating organic content like this. Besides being able to like, use Claude and kind of scale that side of things, but like actual human written, case studies and really good like video content like this, like we're like really at the margin here.
Yeah.
And so we never really needed to do kind of a one-to-one comparison of like what's going into it and what's coming out because we weren't doing anything super trackable to begin with. Yeah. And so, but investors don't really care about that. Mm-hmm. They need to know like what you're putting in and what's coming out of it. So we had to figure it out, which was, as hard as it sounds, I think, because it's like these types of things that we're doing, they're not something that's like, oh, someone listened to the podcast and then immediately clicked on book a demo. Like it doesn't work like that.
By the way, some investors didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Like in my slide deck, like one of the first 5 slides was team. And I was like very clear with investors, like, hey, we're doing something really special on the marketing side. Not everything we're doing is measurable. We had your picture and Sarah's picture and Alex's picture, basically saying like, hey, this is our strategy.
Yeah.
And some people didn't get it. And like, those were the rooms I walked out of. And I said, like, if you don't get that, then like, you're definitely not the right partner.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. Thank you. Thank God.
But I do need pipeline Jess.
I know. Wait, where is it, guys? Help me. All right. What else did we do to get ready? Churn was a big one.
Yeah.
So we had just come off of a pivot, and we had some customers who had joined us for the original kind of version of Vector that were using us for reasons that after the pivot didn't quite make sense. And so there were, understandably, a number of customers who were like, this use case really isn't what we want. This isn't kind of what we signed up for, understandably, again. And so, we had to kind of figure that out a little bit. Can you talk me through some of the things that you had to do with like customer solutions to make that happen?
There was like 2 waves of how we focused on retention and churn. And I want to explain why there were 2 waves, because I think there was this like thing we did in the business where like some people inside the company were like, that doesn't make sense. And they were right.
Yeah.
So like wave 1 was we did the right thing, which was we sort of fired or parted ways with customers that we just weren't driving value for. We knew we weren't going the right direction in the product for them anymore. We did that sort of earlier on before the raise, like 6 months out.
Yep.
And then that was the right thing to do. And then sort of like a quarter or 2 before the raise, we like stopped letting go of bad customers. And everyone internally was like, why, right? Like we've done the right thing. Like we're letting go of folks that, we're not driving value for. Like why, Josh, are we like selling everything at all costs? Why are we retaining customers? And we almost had to have this like honest moment with the company where we're like, you're right? The right thing to do as a business is like not the sort of charades and optics for fundraising. But the reality is like we're now in a window that is sort of this like look back period of time that when I go raise, they're going to be looking at the last 6 months of churn and retention. So we like have to keep these customers. So phase 1 was sort of identifying where the right customers were and sort of parting ways. And then phase 2 was like all hands on deck, keep retention as strong as possible.
Absolutely. I think above everything, and the thing that like the company as a whole was really focused on was hitting our revenue goal that we had set at the beginning of the year. Even through a pivot, even through like knowing we were going to be going into the Series A raise, like we knew we had to hit this revenue goal for that Series A raise to even happen. So we like really had to step it up at the end of the year and land these customers, sell. I remember like the December like Slack channel for sale or for revenue was like popping off. Every day there were a couple contracts getting signed, and it was like, it's happening. We had our biggest quarter ever in company history in Q4 right before we went to raise. And it was such an example of just like, I don't know, like we didn't have everything figured out. We were still to this day wading through product market fit, but it was one of those sort of like, okay, you don't have to have everything figured out to go deliver pipeline, to close deals. Like we'll figure it out as we go. And like the team delivered, and it set me up for a still difficult product. Like fundraising sucks, but it went as well as it possibly could have gone. Okay, let's get into that process, Josh, because I remember like you would come back from, you'd come back for like a day real quick. You had like a day in between turnarounds of like going to New York or San Francisco. And I want to talk about all that. But I just remember you being like, this is the most demoralizing process I've ever been through.
It's awful. It's like showing up to like the lunch table and be like, am I pretty and can I sit with you? And they're like, no. Like, you're disgusting. It's just, and you know you're going to sign up for it. It's funny. I remember, I think before the end of the year, I prepped you guys. I'm like, hey, this is what Q1's going to look like for me. And this was straight from like Y Combinator's advice. They're like, this could take anywhere from like 8 weeks to 8 months. I was like, book. So like, we just knew it was going to be like a really laborious process. Like you are asking people for millions, tens of millions of dollars, and you're trying to convince them that like you are the best steward of that capital. And so the process is awful. I
do not recommend, but you kind of have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where, you have those moments in your life where you're like, if I could have like seen how much that would have sucked, I probably wouldn't have done this. And I'm glad I couldn't have seen it ahead of time. But I remember because like, marketing, I was like recording content as we went, right? So like I like recorded a video on like day one of just like, all right, it's day one of raising our Series A. Like tonight I'm flying to New York. And then like by like day 97, it was like, it's day 97 of raising our round. It just got awful. Yeah. But yeah, I mean like the process is essentially you're traveling to a handful of major cities. For us, it was mostly San Francisco, but New York and Boston also had some interesting candidates in it. I was basically an SDR for a month where you're like trying to play this like popular like high school game where it's like, I'm going to be on the road and like, I'd like to book a meeting with you, but also I'm not asking for a meeting. Because if I was asking for a meeting, that sounds pretty desperate. And so you do these things where like you whisper to people of like, I'm raising. And then like you hope that they whisper to people and then you get like inbounded about it. It's such a game.
That was a really fascinating fact that you told me where it was like you had your kind of first round where you went and talked to kind of like top tier VC candidates.
Yep.
And through those conversations, those folks kind of spread that news through the grapevine.
Yes.
And then more people come to you because it's like, oh, they're smart and they want to invest. Well, maybe I want to invest. And that was something I don't think I realized was like a thing.
So there was a phase before that too.
Ooh.
We had 3 phases of how we raised the money.
Okay.
So first, if we want to use like the high school analogy.
Yes, keep going. I love
we
it.
went out to all the unpopular, uncool people first. So we did like a week sprint of the people we didn't want to raise money from. And we basically just practiced. we basically were just like, we're going to book, go.
If you were in that group, now you know.
Well, you don't know what week you were a part of.
Ooh,
so
You'll never know.
You'll never know, but you kind of know. So yeah, there's this week of people that like we didn't tell them, but essentially it was practice for us. It was like we probably don't want to raise from these people. But
we got to get the reps in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, smart.
And for some of those people, they wouldn't even be offended if we said that. Like we went and pitched people that like mostly fundraise like consumer services or consumer goods. Like one of the people I spoke to was like the person that invested in like Quince. How do you say it?
Quince. Wonderful clothing. My curtains are from there.
They're really nice. My wife has the bedding.
Oh yes, quince.com.
Super
Check them
nice.
out. They didn't pay us, but they're lovely.
Use promo code Jess15.
I get a kickback. I don't. I could. Please, Quince.
Sponsor me. So we talked to people like that, right? And you almost like walked into these rooms and like I could see on the partner's face, they're like, I just have to hit my quota of taking meetings. And I was just I'm just practicing with you.
You're like in a weird symbiotic relationship. Yeah.
We're like chewing gum, like texting while we go through it. Like we get
neither of us want to be here, but we're hitting our numbers.
5 minutes in, I'm just like, do you want to send your like EA instead? Like I'll pitch them. It's fine. So that was round 1. We basically practiced, and that was in a second we'll talk about like how I came back like a complete jackwagon, but like that was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Because in the practice, you start to get like feedback of like, well, what if you positioned it like this? Or like AI is really hot right now. Where's your AI story?
Yeah.
Or like Sequoia just put out like a thing about, the next companies will be like agencies. Maybe you should be an agency, which like I'll pause there. We'll talk more about that one later. But like, so you start to like get this sort of like, oh, I need to change the story.
Yeah.
So like you do a week of that. Then week 2, you go to the people that you're actually pretty excited about, but you got intros too. So you still don't want to go outbound to anybody or using like your network.
Yeah.
And so our existing investors made a bunch of intros to us. And the goal is, of course, that like you'll have great conversations with them, but that like the people on the street will start talking about what's going on. And I was really nervous that this wasn't going to work. Our partner, Varun, suggested this strategy. And I was like, I don't know. What if they don't talk? What if we get to week 3 and like no one's emailing us and we're just like dead in the water?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it'll happen. And like, lo and behold, like right in the middle of week 2, all of a sudden, just like, hey, like I'm this investor from this firm and like I just wanted to reach out. And it's like, no, you heard that we're raising right now. And we got like 50 inbounds that week.
That's
because
amazing.
people heard.
Yeah. Like all these people heard I was going to get asked to the dance.
Exactly.
And now they want to ask me to the dance.
I had like a Pretty Woman moment for sure. Huge mistake.
Huge mistake. Big mistake. Huge. Okay, and then what was week 3?
Okay, so
or phase 3, I guess.
Yeah, so phase 3 was sort of like we got through all of the practicing, then it was hitting the road. And so we hit the road with all of the people we had calls with in week 2 and all of the people that we had calls with in week 3. And so now it's basically like, okay, we've narrowed it down to a pool of people that are showing interest, and you're just hitting all of the cities. But the whole point or the whole goal is to make it look like you've got all this pull and all this traction.
Yeah.
And so I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be in New York on Tuesday and I've got like 1 slot left. And I look at my calendar and like, I don't even have like a flight to New York and I've got like no meetings that day. But so you're like playing this game.
Yeah.
And
scarcity.
Yes. Yep. Supply and demand, baby. And so you're playing this game, and eventually we hit the road, and we had some really good meetings. But eventually, people start to drop out, right? They say, "Oh, we're not interested because we don't like B2B, we don't like go to market, like we haven't seen a good outcome in this space for a while." And so you start to have this like existential crisis of like, "Oh my God, like have we spoken to enough people?"
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember by the time I got to, I think like week 4, which was my second week of travel, I think I was really only talking to like 3 serious VCs at that point. You're like, man, if these 3 drop out, we're starting all over again.
Yep.
And I remember there was a period of time, I think towards the end of January, you kind of asked me like, how's it going? And I was like, this could be done next week. This could be 4 more months. Like it's so, who knows?
So up in the air. But it could change tomorrow.
Yes.
It could change in an hour.
Yep.
Can I tell you from our side what all this was like?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you did a really great job of preparing us, because you were like, I'm literally gonna have to step away from the business for at least a month, if not more.
Yeah.
And I think what it did for us was we had to stop asking permission. That's just something I've been like working on as a professional, as a marketer in general.
Yeah.
And like it really gave me the ability to be like, this is what Josh, if I think it's right, Josh will just want me to do this.
Yep.
And he's not here and I just have to make this decision.
Huge.
And I think all of the other team leads had to do that as well. It was really good for the executive leadership team to kind of have that. It was like when you are in middle school and you like go on your bikes with your friends.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you have the freedom to like go get ice cream.
Wherever you want to go.
Like we used to go to Farmer Jack and like bounce bouncy balls down the aisles.
What the hell's Farmer Jack?
It's a Michigan grocery store. I don't know. It's not here anymore.
Is it not around?
No, it's so sad.
Oh.
It was fun. You could just like go there and like no one cared. And that's probably why they're gone.
Because they were selling bouncy balls.
Oh yeah, bouncy balls and groceries and stuff. And so you just like walk up and down the aisles. Anyway, like that summer, that first summer that you had that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, I'm kind of growing up, but I got to be careful. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like that. It was like we have to be careful because we are still in the middle of the Series A raise, but we also need to continue to grow the business while Josh is away. And so I think it gave us just, it was like that, you know, coming of age summer for us, but it just happened to be in January.
Was it, I feel like there's it's kind of a catch-22. If you ask any marketer right now, like the thing that they want the most is like more control.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I've got strong opinions, but my leadership won't give me the budget. They won't give me the approval. So all of a sudden you had like free reign.
Yeah. Mom and dad are gone.
Yeah. Was like the house party as fun as you thought it was going to be, or what was it like?
It was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Dope.
It was pretty fun. But yeah, I think at the same time you have in the back of your head, like, what would Josh say about this? How would he feel about this?
Yeah.
Is this the right thing? Is this what I should be investing in? And like, I think our entire team we're very like mature. We've done this before. This is not our first startup.
Yeah.
This is not our first leadership role usually for most of us. And so it was just kind of like, no, we know what we're doing. And I think it actually gave us a lot of confidence to be like, we do know what we're doing.
Yep.
We have the trust and we should just make the decisions we think are the right ones.
I think you guys crushed it. Like there wasn't a single decision that I came back to being like, oh, wow, I would have done that differently.
Yeah.
The thing that I saw that was difficult was the cross-functional decision making.
Yes.
Right? Like the glue being gone between the companies or between the departments, which I almost feel like it's kind of good that it happened. It forced things to occur.
It did. Yeah. I think it made all of us like really, we had to talk to each other. We couldn't go through you, which is a bad habit, right? But like it happens between the leadership team members and things like that. So yeah, no, it was really good for everyone.
Yeah.
Can I read you text message, a text exchange between you and I during this period of time.
Oh God, please don't.
No, I'm going to.
Shit.
Doesn't matter what you want. I'm doing it. So this is dated Tuesday, January 27th.
Okay. So this would be like the third or fourth week, like the thick of me being in this process.
You're like in it. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah.
I just want like a glimmer. Like I want to know like how it's going.
Yep.
Is this thing really going to happen? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
So I say to you, how are you? How'd today go? I feel like you're at war and I'm waiting for a telegram. And you responded with this poetry. Dear Jess, the battlefield was a scene to be held. My morn started before the sun had kissed the sky. I'd presume 3:45 if I was so lucky as to have a time-telling machine. I traveled thousands of miles to hold but 2 meetings. Urgently, I found myself back in the air, traveling yet again across our nation, alas, to New York. I arrived there tonight just before the clocks strike a new day, and with it, bring a new journey, another 2 meetings. Have I met all the right associates to bring this nightmare to an end? I can only hope. I aspire the day we meet again to break bread, discuss the activities of marketing, record thy podcast, and get wasted in a Disney theme park. Until then, I bid you adieu. So I could tell your spirits were still up.
That sums it up really well. I was sitting on a plane, literally crossing the country, when you sent me that text, and I think the journey was like so awful where I was just like some creative liberty to like have some fun.
Yeah, you needed that, I think.
And I think I sent that back to you within like minutes.
Oh, it was so fast. It was like you had a degree in Old English. I don't know. I was like astonished at how well it was written and then astonished at how quickly you wrote it.
It just flowed right out of the mouth.
So insane. Okay, let's talk about the monster you became.
Yes.
The people are waiting for this part.
Yes.
When I say this with love. You're not a monster. I think what happened was like you were getting a lot of opinions thrown at you of like what we should be, where we should be positioning ourselves, what we should look like in the future.
Yeah.
And so you would come back, on the one day that you were able to like come to us and talk to us between all these meetings and be like, hey, I think we need to be an agency. And we were like, okay, I think whenever your CEO comes to you with an idea, you're like that, the first inclination is like, where is this coming from? And how serious is he or she?
Yes.
And like, do we really need to make this happen? And if it is in fact the case, how do we do that? And so I think for the rest of us, it was kind of like, we were trying to answer those questions. Like, how serious is this? What does this mean? How does this changes everything?
And I wasn't around to help you. I think just so everyone knows, like I literally would show up for like company all hands on like a Friday.
Like grenade agency.
30 minutes. We need to become an agency. And like, I'll explain like where these came from, but like to give people, I think 3 themes or like 3 examples of this. There was like 3 back-to-back weeks where like no one would see me. I would show up on like a Friday after traveling all week. And like week 1, I would be like, great to see you guys. We need to become an agency. Goodbye.
Yes.
And then the next week was like, great to see you guys. Everyone should be concerned for their jobs because AI is going to replace you. Goodbye.
Yes.
And then I think there's another like AI one as well. Or just awful.
Yeah.
Just awful.
And I mean, I think that was maybe like a byproduct of this Series A raise that none of us realized would happen, that you would come back with all of these like opinions being thrown at you that you were like, no, I need to throw this out and see where this lands.
Yeah.
But then, you would leave and we'd be like, hey, Alex, did you hear about this agency thing? Like, what does that mean?
Just complete
like
turmoil.
Existential business turmoil. Conversations without you.
I made some mistakes in that quarter.
But I understand it, right? Like people are trying to decide if they want to invest in you. And in doing that, they're giving you, from their experience and their perspective, like what the future holds.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out where do we fit in that future. Josh. Do you know what time it is?
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? What time is it, Jess?
It is the time where we stare deeply, longingly, awkwardly.
Yep. Right into
to the chagrin of many marketers. Right into that camera.
And say
the things they need to hear.
Positive affirmations, baby.
For their hearts and their minds so that they can go on.
Dear marketer, your CEO absolutely takes credit for the LinkedIn posts that you write for them.
Dear marketer, Live, laugh, lower CAC. We have a happy ending.
Yes.
Thankfully.
Yes. The company's bankrupt.
We're going under. Every man for himself.
No, we did it.
We did it.
We did it. We decided, so we raised $10 million from SignalFire, little tiny logo here.
Yes.
I got my SignalFire
Our
shirt
original
on.
investor.
Our original investors, which we should talk about that because
Yeah.
that was interesting. So we raised $10 million from SignalFire, one of our original seed investors, and a big one, which was HubSpot Ventures, invested in us, which was massive. So we should talk about sort of like why we got to this outcome, like why 10 million, why did we pick these partners, and sort of like what does that mean for us? So 10 million is a ton of money, but also like small in consideration to the rounds we're seeing every day on LinkedIn. And that was very purposeful for us. What people don't see on the other side of the LinkedIn post of like, we raise all this money is you're actually diluting the company. So for those people that don't know, like when you raise money, you're adding new shares to the pool, right? So that means that like the pool is bigger, which means your percentage of shares are now a smaller percentage of that pool. So the more money you raise, the more you actually hurt the existing shareholders, i.e. our employees. So we wanted to raise enough money that would answer the things we talked about at the beginning of the episode, which was like security, opportunity to like go build the right product to capture the market and the opportunities that were in it, but also not so much that we just had like a silly amount of money that everyone was diluted. So 10 was the right number for us. We did all the math. What was your trademark? Big.
It was a deep ass financial dive.
We did TM. A deep ass financial dive, TM. And that was the number for us where it's like, we can build a really big business, get to profitability if we wanted to, raise more money if we wanted to, like it gave us a lot of optionality. So that was the right number. SignalFire coming into the round was like a really interesting sign to the market because they like knew everything about us.
They've seen all our dirty laundry, right? They kind of know all the good, bad, ugly, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Still wanted a piece of the pie.
They still want a piece of the pie. They got it, right? They understood sort of our vision. They understood that like nothing's being built for marketers right now, whether it's ad targeting, whether it's site de-anonymization. There's like all these things that like sort of Vector's been known for, and we're you know still in the journey of like sussing out exactly where we take the product in the future. But they just sort of believed in what we believed in, which is like marketers in the age of AI are being ignored, and like we're the only company that's really set out to try to make them superhuman. And they just got that. And the fact that they understood that despite seeing all of our dirty laundry, I was like, that's the kind of partner that we want.
Love that.
And then we got HubSpot, which
Oh.
was big.
I remember when you first told me and I was like losing my mind.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, a Series A is very exciting. Again, like the ability to go to announce that, it's like instant credibility, instant legitimacy, right? But then to put a name like HubSpot behind that. That for me was like, oh man, this is going to be good for us. It's going to be so big.
The DNA was just so perfect. We're a Boston-based company. They're Boston, right? Founders and some of our early team came from Drift, which spun out of David Cancel, which was the chief product officer at HubSpot for a long time. Like it just made a lot of sense. Like you said, the credibility was great, and then also just like their ability to help us deliver more for our customers, right? They've got like a great partner network. Like we're going to build like deeper embedded apps that like we otherwise could not build without them. Just like really cool stuff that we can do now.
100%. I think they get what we're going for too, which is like the contact level, seeing the humans that are showing up on your site, understanding how to market to individuals in a way that you did not have the ability to do before. And I think that is their feeling as well. Like they really understand the idea of just like giving marketers more powers, superpowers. And just is such a nice fit.
I think one of the things that really attracted me to HubSpot beyond everything that you just described is like HubSpot's done such a good job of predicting where the marketing world was going to go, right? From inbound to now they're unbound, and just they've done such a good job of like understanding categorically where shifts are going to go, and like ultimately that's what we want Vector to do, which is like predict where marketing's going to go for our customers.
We also did a really fun thing where. It's funny, we're recording this today. We're actually announcing this in real life in like real time space continuum tomorrow. By the time this comes out, it will have been announced. And so we put together this really fun video where we all, everyone who wanted to be a part of it got to be a part of it. And it felt like this, like, it was almost like the opening theme to like a 90s sitcom. And we filmed in Boston. We were all there celebrating the Series A raise.
Yep.
And yeah, so like that was a really fun experience too, where everyone kind of got to be a part of this celebration and the announcement. And so we are going to do, by the time this is out, we will have done like a 2-part announcement, right? Where it's like your typical kind of the image that goes up on LinkedIn, the press release, the blog post.
Yep.
HubSpot and SignalFire kind of doing their own distribution of it as well. And then we're going to drop this video. And I feel like people are going to be like, these people are just
unhinged,
nuts. And we love it.
So speaking of which, right? So you came up with this video concept. Like once we raised the money, I came to you and said like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
How did you think about like announcing press releases, et cetera?
How do we get this out to the world?
Yeah.
How do we distribute this news? So typically, you fundraise, and the first thing you have to think about is like the press release, right? The pitch. How are we actually going to pitch this to anyone who cares, who might distribute it? And we went down that road for a while, and we just kind of kept hitting blockers of like, hey, we get that like HubSpot invested. We get that you're trying to do this really cool thing and like give marketers superpowers, but like press doesn't care.
Yeah.
And I remember I came to you at one point and I was like, how far do you want me to take this PR thing? Because we could weave a story that we're all kind of mutually dissatisfied with to get into some press, or we could just do our own thing.
Yeah.
And we could like go, do this video.
Yeah.
We can all post on LinkedIn. I'm sure that like SignalFire and HubSpot will support us. They'll do the distribution on their end. Maybe that's enough. And you were like, yeah, let's just go that route.
Yeah. I think it's funny because the press release story almost brings me back to the fundraising story, which is like, we kind of realized there was like theater, right? There was all these things that we were doing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Like we had to like get our, the story in like an optically good place to raise. Then I like came to you guys and was like, we should be an agency because like optically that's where like everyone was. And then like the press release was like, well, in order to get into TechCrunch, you need to tell this story. And we kind of realized like none of this matters. Like we raised this money because we wanted to build a good product for like our customers.
Yeah.
And like we were just so over the theater at that point where we're like, let's just get back to like building our business.
Yeah. Let's just tell people. I think the fact that like HubSpot's a part of it is plenty to get the people we need to be excited about it, about it.
I remember, if we can be tactical real quick, there was, now that we had partners, we had people at SignalFire, we had people at HubSpot. I had an opinion, you had an opinion, right? And that was part of, and then obviously they had an opinion. The press release folks, the reporters had an opinion on like what would get picked up. So everyone had their opinion. One of the things or the story that you and I wanted to tell was essentially like, hey, like what Vector really believes in, ultimately, like all the BS aside, what we believe in is that like marketers as humans are really important.
Yes.
They have taste. They're not going to get replaced. And we want to build AI tools and platforms and all of this, but ultimately it's because like we want to build for them.
Yes.
And like one of the pieces of valid feedback we got was like, oh, well, the sort of AI not replacing humans is like a really played out like trope.
Yeah.
And we were like,
yeah, but not in our world.
Yeah, not in our world. And like, also, but it's our truth. Like that's like, maybe it won't get picked up by TechCrunch, but like, that's what we're building.
Yeah. Every day I go to LinkedIn and it's like, I replaced my 27-person marketing team with one bot.
Yeah. That guy sucks, by the way.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
He is many.
Yeah.
But he is out there.
But he sucks.
He really sucks. So yeah, it's like, it is still part of our truth. It is still happening. Like, yes, maybe the news cycle has passed, but that doesn't mean the story has ended there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Josh, now we have all this money. Like, I'm just going to throw an idea out there and you just like give me back whatever comes to your mind. Like real ghosts, Like
spend the money on like getting real ghosts.
Make them or find them.
Jess, I have enough money to still fire you. I just want you to know that. But this was a great meeting.
I'll workshop it some more. This was a good meeting.
This meeting could have been a podcast.
It could have.
It was.
This meeting could have been a podcast is a Vector production. Vector lets you build ad audiences from real people that visit your site, click your ads, and research your competitors. Imagine seeing exactly who will see your ads by name before you spend a dime. It's a great time to be alive, marketers. Go give it a whirl at vector.co. See you next time.